Okay, welcome back to another video. In this one today, I am going to run you through, I guess, a little bit of a checklist or a self-audit, which will help you get a bit of an idea of sort of where your own online marketing is at for your own business, and some suggested next steps, I guess. So, yeah, we're going to talk about if your marketing is actually working today. So you can't improve what you haven't honestly assessed. Most small business owners have a rough sense that their marketing sort of could be better, but they probably haven't sat down and looked at it area by area. So what we're going to do is go through 6 areas. We assess each area independently so you know where your gaps are. There'll be a scorecard sort of system, 29 points. We can do it together with some clear action at the end. So hopefully this is super helpful for you, and we should get through it in just a few minutes. So we're going to assess your Google Business Profile, your website, your social media presence, the reviews on your profile, your referral process, and of course, lastly, your advertising. Now, you may wish to pause the video at any time and just sort of jot these down as you go, but you can see here for each of these items, you sort of get a point and you can add them up as we go along together. So the first part or the first area is the Google Business Profile. So you want to make sure it's claimed, verified, and fully set up as a starting point. The profile needs to be completed uh, in its entirety, including descriptions, categories, hours, website links, services, photos, with nothing missing. We'd like to see at least 20 reviews, with at least one in the last 30 days. All reviews need to be responded to, and ideally the quicker the better. So as soon as you get a review, you should be responding to that ASAP. And then finally, Google Business Profile posts. This is sort of like, I guess, a blog post, but for your Google Business Profile. And like we've recommended here, at least twice per month is a good sort of cadence to set, but it's a really good way to get more signals into your Google Business Profile, in terms of keywords and industry type and who you help and that sort of thing. So regular posts as well. So that's the Google Business Profile. Let's now move on to your website. It needs to load in under 3 seconds and preferably on mobile. It must be optimized for mobile. There needs to be a clear value proposition above the fold, and the fold is that part that you see when it first loads and they haven't yet scrolled down on both mobile and or desktop. Trust signals should be visible again in that above the fold section, so without scrolling. So it's whether it's your qualifications, accreditations, years in business, number of reviews, those sorts of things should be immediately available. You must have client testimonials, or if you don't have testimonials yet, case studies on the homepage. And ideally, it should be real. And then obviously a frictionless contact pathway, meaning don't make it hard for people who do want to get in touch with you. You want to make it as easy as possible. Now we talk about social media and reviews. Now, social media, I highly recommend everybody has a social media presence. And no, that doesn't mean you have to become the next financial influencer or whatever it is, but you need to have some strategic and core content in place, as a baseline. Like, you don't have to be posting all the time, but get the core pieces of content in place. And ideally, once that's done, you can just schedule those to be recurring posts or repost them manually if you really need to. But you should post in the last 14 days. We want consistent, like at least weekly posting. Content builds trust, it doesn't just promote. So we want authority building content, trust building content, how you've helped other clients, your opinion on things, how you work with people, to demonstrate credibility and your, I guess, expertise in your field. The profile should be complete and look professional. And in your social media, I know for most part, mortgage brokers and accountants can work Australia-wide, but try to target local audience to begin with. Now, with your reviews, a couple of these are a little bit of a double up, but specifically speaking, we want at least 20 Google reviews in total. You should be targeting a 4.5 star rating or above. And if you've got like a large number of reviews, I think anywhere in that 4.9, 4.8, 4.7 is really, really good and believable. If you've got like 300 reviews with a star rating of 5, people sort of might start to believe it's not not believable. If your star rating does start to drop a little bit, then of course you need to look internally to see what the cause is for that. But the only way you can solve that problem is just to bury it in more positive reviews, unless of course it's fraudulent, and then you can appeal it with Google. Separate topic. Recency matters. So hopefully you've received reviews in the last 30 days. Like I said, you need to be responding to reviews as soon as they come in. So if it's automated, even better, because you don't forget and other things don't get in the way. And we need 100% of the reviews responded to without exception. The responses are yet another opportunity to put more keywords into your whole profile, which signals to Google the type of customers that you want more of. Now let's move on to your referral process. This should be systematic, not just like whenever you think about it or when you happen to meet someone at the park or shops or whatever. You should have some sort of a system behind consistent outreach. You'd want to have, just to put some arbitrary number on it, but at least 3 active referral partnerships, like an active, meaning that they are actually referring, not just that they've said they would and nothing ever happens. This ties in with the first one, but a documented target partner list with an outreach strategy. So what that really means is create a list of local businesses that you could approach and understand what your strategy is to get in touch with them and what you're going to say to them and make that contact. It can just be 1 or 2 a day, but with consistent effort, results will come. And then of course the referral source, when you do get referrals, needs to be tracked and measured so that it can be adequately assigned that the referral commissions or rewards are adequately assigned. And then finally, we talk about advertising. Now, I always recommend the areas that we've just covered. So we've been through 1 to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need to have these in place before we start talking about paid advertising. Even just this week, I had a conversation with a broker who really has none of the areas in place, and he just straight away wants to do social media ads. And it's just, it can work, but it will work a heck of a lot better if you've got everything else in place first. So that's what that first point is about. Have you got at least areas 1 to 5 dealt with adequately? Maybe not everything's sorted just yet, but are they solid? Google search campaigns running locally. That's always something that we can do. And I recommend for brokers and accountants to do a local search campaign to make sure your business is showing up. Meta ad campaigns, meaning Facebook and Instagram, running for awareness and lead generation. Also very good. And we need to have adequate conversion tracking in place, not just measuring how many clicks we're getting, because that's, clicks don't pay the bills. But you need to have a process in place whereby you measure each step of what happens throughout the funnel, and we can understand what conversions are happening where, and therefore what troubleshooting is required. That conversion tracking in place needs to be there. So hopefully just going through and talking through those points gives you a little bit more insight as to sort of what constitutes these things being set up well. And obviously that ties into what we do as a service offering for businesses. And yeah, so hopefully you've gone along in that process that we just went through and tallied up how many sort of 1 points that you got. And if you did do that, obviously the maximum is 29. But if you're only scoring sort of 0 to 10, then you've got a lot of gaps. And the foundation is not yet in place. You could have people arriving on a website that were interested in your service and they're just leaving. But there's definite inefficiencies in your online marketing if you're in that sort of that space. 11 to 20, I'd say the foundation is partially in place, but there's gaps that need to be closed. Some areas are working, others are undermining them. So your inquiries are probably inconsistent as a result. And if you're scoring 21 to 29, then you have a strong foundation and you're probably ready to turn on paid ads if you haven't already. So that means the infrastructure is largely in place. The opportunity for you, if you're in that category, is amplifying with paid advertising and a systematic referral expansion strategy. That's my take on I guess that scorecard and where you might end up. So to finish off this video, we do this for businesses exactly like yours, day in, day out. We offer a full stack approach to online marketing. We don't just sell leads. I did do that in the past, many, many years ago. But I believe as the online environment has evolved and the state of things at the moment, you need a full stack and a complete online marketing setup, like we've sort of just covered in this video. We address your complete online marketing strategy, and then we put in place the systems to sustain that growth. And ideally, at the back end of our engagement, what we do is we set you up for success in a self-sustaining manner. So we're not tethering ourselves to you forever and a day. We set you up for success with just some very minor software costs if needed. But we provide you with standard operating procedures and video instruction, AI prompts, anything that's needed for you to essentially be self-sustaining in your online marketing after we finish up. And that's exactly what I've built Sorted to fix. So there's no one size fits all that I've found for marketing. It really depends on where you're at with your current setup. So we define the scope that's based on your gaps. Like for instance, if you've already got a fantastic website that ticks all of the boxes, well, we're not going to propose a new website for you. So we only suggest scope based on where your current online marketing gaps are. We put a fixed cost against it and a time frame, and we build every component, hand it all over to you. We usually can get most things done in a period of between 2 to 4 months. If it's a lot that needs to be done, then obviously it's going to take a little bit longer. We don't work under retainer. We don't want to, like I said, tether ourselves to you in the future, so there's no dependency, just a complete system that you own. And if that sounds interesting for you, then I'd encourage you to go beneath this video. You'll find a link where you can download the roadmap, which has added 6 figures in revenue to various mortgage brokers and accountants that we've worked with in the past. And if you like what you see there, then you can request a custom proposal from us, and we can potentially talk about working together. So I hope this video has been helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.